Welcome back, students. Welcome to the class. Today we will going to discuss the phenomenon of isomerism in case of coordinate compounds. As we know that compounds having the same molecular formula but have different structural or spatial arrangement are termed as isomers, and the phenomenon is called isomerism. Coordinate compounds can also show the phenomenon of isomerism. Different kind of isomerism that can be possible in case of coordinate compounds is in case of coordinate complexes. They often have a variety of isomeric forms. Okay, are you sure? So if the atoms are linked to the same partners, okay, if the answer that is no, then structural isomerism arises. Okay, if the atoms linked with the same partners, then you have stereoisomerism. So structural isomerism is further divided into ionization isomerism, then you have hydrate isomerism, then you have linkage isomerism, then you have coordinate isomerism. Are you getting that or not? Then there will be ligand isomerism, and then there will be so other two kinds are ligand isomerism and polymerization isomerism. And in addition to that, stereoisomerism also there. What is stereoisomerism? Stereoisomerism is of two types, that is geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. So this is the various kinds of optical isomerism, geometrical isomerism, coordination isomerism, linkage isomerism, hydrate isomerism, ionization isomerism, ligand isomerism, and polymerization isomerism. That you can have different kinds of isomerism. Now, first of all, we have to discuss a very important aspects of structural isomerism, that is ionization isomerism. As the name suggests, ionization, it means different ions are given by the compounds which have the same structural formula. So what is here written? This type of isomerism occurs when counter ion in the coordination compound itself is a potential ligand and can displace a ligand, which can then become the counter ion. Okay, in which what can happen? The ion, which is a ionizable valency in case of coordination compound, and it is a potential ligand also. So what can happen? One of the ligand that is already present in the compound, it comes outside, and that ligand, that ion will go inside. So a new type of bond is formed. So look at that example. Now look at one example. The example is pentaamine bromido cobalt 3 sulfate and pentaamine sulfato cobalt 3 bromide. So when you take it and dissolve in water, what you are able to get? We will get different we can get different ion in this case. In the second case, we are getting bromide ion as the counter ion. While in case of first case, we are getting sulfate as the counter ion. Are you getting that in your mind? Now here what happens if you add here If you add here barium chloride, You had white PPT of barium sulfate. You had what? White PPT of barium sulfate precipitate. Okay, nothing will happen if you add silver nitrate. But here, if you add here silver nitrate, you have yellow PPT of silver bromide. Yellow PPT of silver bromide. So here you can see that, and here nothing will happen if you add barium sulfate. If you add barium sulfate, nothing will be, barium chloride, So if you add barium chloride, nothing is observed. So here you can see that different ions are given by what? Different ions are given by the compounds having the same molecular formula, but they have different counter ion outside the coordination sphere. In first case, the counter ion is what? The counter ion is sulfate. In the second case, the counter ion is bromide. Okay, in the first case, bromide ion does not undergo ionization. Only sulfate will go. Similarly, in second case, only bromide ion can undergo ionization. In case of sulfate, nothing happens. No ionization. Now let's look at that. Now let's look at the next example. What is the next example? Next example is pentamine sulfato cobalt nitrate and pentamino nitrato cobalt sulfate. So that also gives you what? That also gives you different ion. If you take what? If you take cobalt and that ammonia complex together, now you will get nitrate ion and the coordinate complex. The same compound, the different form is this. So what is the difference between these two? Here in this case, sulfate is the secondary valency, nitrate is the primary valency. In this case, it is reverse. Nitrate is the secondary valency and sulfate is the primary valencies. Are you getting that or not? So this is very, very simple. You have to take into account. Are you getting that or not? Similarly, you have what? You have take a case this. If you take platinum into ammonia, you are bromide as the two ions here, but now if you have platinum then ammonia, so in the complex case number 1, you will get bromide ion as the ionizable ions or the counter ions, while in the second case you will get what? Chloride ion as the counter ions. So the compounds which can give you different counter ions on ionization, they are called as what? They are called as what? They are called as ionization isomers. If to that you add silver nitrate, you will get what? You will get yellow PPT of AgBr. But here if you add yellow PPT AgR, which is soluble in ammonia, here you will get silver nitrate, then you get white PPT of 2AgCl. So you can see that different color precipitation is formed. So AgCl is white in color or colorless, while AgBr is yellow in color, but that yellow colored AgBr is soluble in ammonia. Are you getting that or not? If in place is silver iodide is also yellow, but it is insoluble in ammonia. But The EGBR is what? It is soluble in ammonia. You have to take an now look at the other examples. This example is, you can check that it is chlorido bis ethane 1,2-diamine nitrite thiocyanate, and in the next case it is bis ethane 1,2-diamine nitrite thiocyanate chloride. So you can see that here different type of ions can be possible, or ionized ion can be possible. And third is bis ethane 1,2-diamine thiocyanate chlorido cobalt 3 nitrate. You can easily see that what I am trying to say. These three compound okay, En2 chlorido nitrito SCN cobalt En square thiocyanate nitrite. So you can see that here in all three cases, 1, 2 and 3, these are the cases here. Okay, in all three of them you will get different counter ion. What you are getting? Different counting ion. So this compound has what? This compound has same molecular formula in all three complexes, but nature and properties of complexes in each and every case are entirely different. Okay, so this type of isomerism is known as what? Ionization isomerism. Okay, if to that you add Fe3 plus ion, then you will get a blood red color PPT. Okay, if you add here what? If you add here little bit of ferrous sulfate, then H2SO4, okay, like that, you will get a brown ring. To that, if you add silver nitrate, you will get white PPT of AgCl. So different types of ions are given by the compounds which are having the different counter ion outside the coordination sphere, although in all three cases the molecular formula of the compound is same. Now next type of isomerism is the solvate or the hydrate isomerism. That is very, very important. Okay, now it occurs only when water forms a part of the coordination entirety either outside or inside. What is that? That water is either one of the ligand or water is outside the coordination sphere. Only then it can occur. This is similar to that of ionization isomerism. Solvate isomers differ by whether or not a solvent molecule is directly bonded to the metal atom or merely present as a free solvent molecule in the crystal lattice. For example, You have what? You have the compound called CrCl3 6H2O. Now, this compound can exist in different forms. Okay? Are you getting that or not? First is that it can exist as what? It can exist as a violet color complex. It can exist as a violet color complex if all the water molecules are the secondary valencies. And chlorine is what? Chlorine is the primary valency. Now, if you make one of the chlorine to go inside and one of the water to go outside, then the compound will be what? The compound will be CrH2O5 Cl2 dot H2O. Now, the color of this compound is bluish green or blue green. Are you getting that or not? So it means that the color is different. The color is different due to what? Due to the difference in ligands around itself. In one case, only water molecule are present as ligand, and in second case, along with water, one chlorine atom is also present as ligand. So you have a different crystal field splitting energy occurring, and that's why you have got different color. Now, if you allow, and now what can happen the third time? Now, if the two chlorine atoms, if the two chlorine atoms are becoming the secondary valencies and only one chlorine becomes the primary valencies, and two water molecules are outside the sphere, then what you have? Now you have what? Now you have a dark green color complex. Are you sure about that? So in the first case, you have 3 chlorine outside. So it is 3 chloride ion and 1 cation will be there. So in the first case, what you will get? You will get a complex like that carrying charge of plus 3 chloride ion. So what would happen here? So it is a molar ratio is 3:1. So what happens? When it is passed over sulfuric acid, no water loss has been reported here. Okay, are you sure about that? And on adding silver nitrate, you will getting 3 mole of AgCl if 1 mole of silver nitrate is added. I am repeating once more. So if you add silver nitrate, you will get 3 mole of AgCl. So here what happens in the second case? In second case, you have one water molecule outside, and that one water molecule can be absorbed by the concentrated H2SO4. Are you getting that or not? This water molecule can be what? Can be absorbed by H2SO4. So this, when dissolved in water, it will give you 2 chloride ions. So on adding silver nitrate, you will get 2 moles of AgCl. So you can here pass it out. 2 mole of AgCl is formed by 1 mole of the coordinate compound. I am repeating once more. 2 mole of AgCl is given by 1 mole of the coordinate compound. Look at the third case. In the third case, what you are observing that in that case the observation is like that. You have 4 water molecule inside and 2 chlorine inside and 1 chlorine outside and 2 water molecule as the water of coordination. So what happens here? So when you pass H2SO4 over that, two water molecules are being absorbed by it. Are you sure? And on adding silver nitrate, what happens? On adding silver nitrate, you are getting 1 mole of AgCl. So it is 1:1. What is that? That 1 mole of AgCl is given by 1 mole of the complex. Are you getting that or not? So hydrate isomers are those isomers in which you will get different number of water molecule as the secondary valency. Okay, so what happens? The water that is present outside the coordinate sphere, that can be absorbed by the H2SO4. Are you sure about that? Clearly understood now? Now the fourth isomer, one of the fourth isomer is what? The fourth isomer can be CrH2Cl3. That color is yellow green. Also occur in high concentration of HCl. Apart from these distinct color, the three isomers can be identified by adding excess of silver nitrate also. And this molecule also can give you what? Because when you have six, that is CrH2O3, CrCl3, it can show you one more type of isomerism, that is called as facial and meridional isomerism in case of geometrical isomerism. We will discuss that there only, but here we are considering only solvent hydrate isomerism. Okay, we are not here discussing the stereoisomerism portion, but remember that CrH2O thrice, Cl thrice, it can also exhibit stereoisomerism. Similarly, CrCl2H2O4 can also exhibit stereoisomerism. Now next you have linkage isomerism. Now what is linkage isomerism? In case of linkage isomerism, there are ligands which are ambidient ligands, in which two different atoms can coordinate, but only one will coordinate. Okay, in that case you have ligands like what? Ligand like cyanide, thiocyanato, nitrite, like that. So it can linkage through carbon through nitrogen. It can linkage through sulfur and nitrogen. It can linkage nitrogen and oxygen both. Okay, so these type of ligand which are ambidient ligand, which we have already discussed with you, wherever ambidient ligand is present, you are bound to have a linkage isomerism. Look at the present scenario, that if you have pentamine, nitrito O, cobalt 3 chloride, or pentamine nitrito N, cobalt 3 chloride. So here in this case, I repeat once more, it is pentamine nitrito O, cobalt 3 chloride, and in this case the complex is pentamine nitrito N, cobalt 3 chloride. So here you can see the linkage is through nitrogen, and in this case the linkage is through oxygen. So this is first case and this is the second case. Are you getting that or not? So I am repeating once more, this is the case I am talking about, and this is. Are you sure about that? So you can see that different groups are being, the only difference is the position of the bonded atom. Now next isomerism is very interesting isomerism, that is called as ligand isomerism. That some ligands they are able to show position isomerism, like these are two. Now the name of this compound is TN. What is TN? TN is 1,3-diaminopropane. And the other compound is what? The other compound is known as PN. What is that? It is 1,2-diaminopropane. So it is 1,2-diamine, it is 1,3-diamine. So this is called TN, this is called PN. So PN and TN, when they are able to what? When they are able to form bond, what happens? When the metal forms bond with TN and metal forms bond with PN, then they are able to exhibit isomerism because ligands have different position isomerism. Ligands can show what? So this is called as, because ligand can show isomerism. What happens? Ligand can show isomerism. Here ligand is 1,3, here ligand is 1,2. So since many ligands are organic compounds which have possibilities for the isomerism themselves, then the ligand isomerism can show what? Can also show the ligand isomerism. Like I told you, PN and TN. Similarly, if you have toluidine is there, let us suppose what do you mean by what are toluidines? If you have methyl group as well as amino group. So this is ortho, okay. This is meta, okay. So orthotoluidines or metatoluidines or paratoluidines there can also be present. So that is also cases of what? These are also cases of ligand isomerism, because what happens? Nitrogen lone pair has to be lost now. So CH3 position is ortho in one case and meta in one case and para in one case. So this type, so when the ligands are able to exhibit isomerism by themselves, then such type of coordinate compounds are called as what? They are exhibiting ligand isomerism. So next is what? Next is the coordination isomerism. Next is what? Coordination isomerism. Coordination isomerism made up of cation and anion, both are complexes. So when both cation and anions are complexes, only then this type of isomerism can be shown. You can interchange the ligand between the cation and the anionic entity. Are you getting that? So I can give you one such example. Look at this case. If you have cobalt and hexamine and chromium as this case. Now what can happen? You can exchange the metal atoms. Now chromium can go here and cobalt can go there. So what can happen? Chromium will show you what? Chromium will show you this complex and cobalt will show you this complex. Why it is important? Because in this case cobalt is cobalt, but in this case cobalt is cobaltate. Here in this case its name is chromium, but here the name will be chromate. Why? Because first part will be the cationic part and second part will be the anionic part. So naming of the ligand will be, naming of the metal atom will be different in these type of isomerism. I am repeating once more, this type of isomerism exists only if the both cation and anion are the complex. So what can happen? You can exchange what? You can exchange the ligands in between these metal atoms, and what can happen? You can which can show you the coordination isomerism. So these are the various example of that. Okay. So please go through these examples. Sure about that? This is very, very important. Okay. In the next class, we will discuss what? We will discuss the stereoisomerism case.